Power-up initiated.
Okay, don't panic. All right, stop panicking. I can still stop this. Oh, there's a password. Okay, it's fine. I'll just hack it. Not a problem. C. Wait, did I do B? Did you have a pen? Start writing these down.
Power-up complete.
I don't. Okay. Listen. All right, new plan. Act natural. Act natural. You've done nothing wrong. Hello.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time.
Portal 2 is by far a game that has been forgotten and abandoned by its developers. This game holds everything I see to be as an in-depth adventure puzzle masterpiece. I think everyone would agree that their passion for a puzzle and story game first developed when playing in this future dystopian universe full of mystery and the unknown. I miss Portal. I miss playing these two games for the first time. Anyone who doesn't know, Portal 1 was a 2007 release game that received massive praise from all sorts of game awards, which then came to be Portal 2 once Valve realized how they made a crap ton of money from it. If this situation happened now, where the world is full of money-loving, deceitful companies, I would have had no hope for the sequel being any better than the original, but boy oh boy, they achieved everything they wanted and more. This video is dedicated to Portal 2 and why I think it deserves to be looked at again, and for everyone to boycott Valve and tell them to get their ass back into Portal 3 and make the damn decision to continue a franchise without being afraid to put the number 3 into their damn game titles. I'm sorry. Guys, don't actually boycott them, please. I'll get in trouble and thrown into jail. But I do have a point though. I miss Valve's passion in their early Source Engine titles. So much potential wasted on nostalgia and continuing to drain the poor souls' wallets on anything related to their past games. Not to say I still love Valve. I think Steam is awesome with their sales and marketing. Well, you know, kind of. But the people want something more than nostalgia and bait. I want some meat. I'm craving for some Portal or Half-Life 3. These universes deserve more, and I am a patient man. Trust me, I am. But waiting for over 22 years for a continuation of one of the biggest cliffhangers ever is criminal, and should be a game award in itself. But today, I will leave it at that. I want to go back to my comfort zone, Portal 2, and I want you guys to engage and comment down below whether you agree or disagree on some of the things I'm gonna say. Also, please like and sub, because doing so will make this video blow up and we can rise a rebellion against Valve and force them to bring Half-Life 3 out of the Area 51 and finally be at peace. Thank you. To start off with, Portal 2 is not a perfect game. I will always make this clear in previous or future videos I make. No game is perfect, because if there was such thing, then every game that claims to be perfect would crumble and fail just from the title. Claiming a video game to be with no flaws just encourages people who actually play the game to expect the world from it, and when they do find bits and pieces to criticize, their mindset will fall below of what was expected from a perfect game. Portal 2 may not be perfect, but it does many things right. Particularly with Valve's writing skills. The story wakes you as a young woman named Shell. Now, this isn't mentioned anywhere in the game, as far as I believe. It actually came from a comic book called Lab Rat or something or other. Future editing me will confirm this. Weird how she is never mentioned, but you obviously find out you're a female from peeking through portals, which, by the way, still impresses me to this day. The portals part, I mean, not the female. Which honestly leads me into talking about the graphics a little and how they did age quite well. It's very stylized. A lot of Valve's games were stylized, and almost all of them hold up even today. I'd argue the most entertaining part about Portal is its physics, which really play into the gameplay puzzle mechanics really well. Man, I miss old Source Engine games. So Shell, therefore the player, is woken up after, I believe, 50 to 50,000 years after the events of Portal 1. I looked it up, which I know sounds insane, and honestly I don't know why it was set so long after Portal 1. Seems just unnecessary for the wow factor, but you do you, Gabe. You do you. we are introduced to Wheatley, my favorite British robot, sorry Codworth, who is in charge of looking after the test subjects, which by the way is the whole point of Aperture Science, a major secret testing institution for crazy future products. Obviously, how do they test these products? Why, of course, homeless bums who are paid a measly $50 to risk their bodies for. Wheatley has no motive to get you out besides realizing he needs a human to get him off his rails and out of Aperture Science. Wheatley then proceeds to then insult us with having brain damage. Furthermore, the game building on this insults and tells us to speak by jumping. The humor is top notch, and I'll be showing a lot of it throughout this video.
And it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarm, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage.
Disclaimer, I wouldn't make fun of someone with brain damage. Like I said before, Wheatley needs us. He then tells us about our first interaction with the portal gun. This is where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins.
This leads us to using literally the only gadget we have in the game, the Aperture Science portable quantum tunneling device. That's a mouthful. The introduction is actually really good though, very similar with Portal 1's tutorial, in where we are only restricted with one portal tunnel, getting us used to the physics of it all before going on with handling 2 portal tunnels at once. Very nicely paced. The puzzles are great, and to be honest, anyone can play this game without feeling too frustrated at them being too hard. They're actually quite easy. Well, for me at least, and I'm pretty stupid. Traversing this broken down dystopian facility is actually quite eerie, and I soon come to realize how much of a horror game this actually feels. In an odd way, the atmosphere makes you feel comfortable, with everything else doing the opposite. The creepy pre-recorded messages.
Some emergency testing may require prolonged interaction with lethal military androids. Rest assured that all lethal military androids have been taught to read and provided with 1 copy of the Laws of Robotics to share.
GLaDOS and her unhuman ability to properly interact with you, to even the silence you sometimes come across after dealing with something intense. The atmosphere is great. We then reach the dead electronic corpse of GLaDOS, the main antagonist from the previous game. Wheatley explains a little to catch us up on.
Do you know who ended up taking her down in the end? You're not going to believe this. A human. I know, I wouldn't have believed it either. Apparently this human escaped and nobody's seen him since. Then there was a sort of long chunk of time where absolutely nothing happened. And then there's us escaping now. So that's pretty much the whole story. You're up to speed.
That human he's talked about was Shell, or us, 50 to 50,000 years ago, while in the meantime we were in a cryo chamber sleeping. We find the main breaker room, looking for the escape pod switch, which honestly, from a Sparky's perspective, is a horribly designed messy disaster. No wonder why Wheatley stuffs up and activates GLaDOS's body. She is not happy.
Wait, did I do beat the jar head? Start writing these down.
Power up complete.
I don't. Okay, listen. All right, new plan. Act natural. Done nothing wrong. Hello.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what? Ah. Oh no! No! Oh no! Ah.
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster. I will say, though, that since you went to all the trouble of waking me up, you must really, really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first.
So, we are sadly led into crushing Wheatley, poor Wheatley, and thrown us down a disposal tunnel with the intentions of testing us forever. GLaDOS is creepy. I've never found comfort in GLaDOS, even towards the endgame. She is weird, unusually funny with her dark humor and sarcastic insults thrown at us all throughout the game. Again, I love this. I don't care if I'm being insulted. I want more GLaDOS, more banter. and the game perfectly provides this continued rivalry between her and Shell. We have intentions to continue testing and reach the original portal gun from the first game. We now get to have the full experience of shooting 2 portal tunnels instead of 1. Throughout going from one test chamber to the next, GLaDOS perfectly reminds us of how we murdered her and doesn't let it go.
Haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance to talk. Do you know the biggest lesson I learned from what you did? I discovered I have a sort of black box quick save feature. In the event of a catastrophic failure, the last 2 minutes of my life are preserved for analysis. I was able, well, forced really, to relive you killing me again and again, forever. You know, if you'd done that to somebody else, they might devote their existence to exacting revenge. Did you know that people with guilty consciences are more easily startled by loud noises? I'm sorry, I don't know why that went off. Anyway, just an interesting science fact.
Lasers, our first obstacle of death, and you will probably die a few times throughout the game, testing over and over again to see what works and what does not. Kinda like the whole plot of the game. The further we get through testing chambers, we eventually run into our favorite little British robot. Again, he's alive and well, secretly trying to get us out of GLaDOS's grasp and control. So back to the puzzles. But as I'm playing, I'm actually really enjoying the puzzles themselves. The story is great, sure, but the puzzles are a perfect mixture of previous knowledge and mechanics into further bringing more challenging designs. I don't know, I just really enjoy them, and I would play them if there was no story in the first place. Since this whole facility hasn't been touched in thousands of years, we see it slowly being built up by GLaDOS. It's actually very satisfying in certain areas, seeing robot hands desperately trying to fix the place up. The more this happens, the more we see the place looking more and more clean. Eventually, the top layer at least, being fully restored to its natural clean look. The surprise. This is what I mean by dark, sarcastic humor. Throughout the first few chapters of the game, GLaDOS continually reminds us of how we are adopted and nobody, not even our parents, love us. She furthermore sets up a surprise, waiting our arrival to be then tricked. Just watch.
Initiating surprise in 3, 2, 1. I made it all up. Surprise. Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth. So I very seriously doubt they'd even want to see you.
Well, now, to be honest, it's probably not humor, it's probably just mean. Next up in our puzzle mechanics, we have bridges, which were quite confusing at first. The whole goal being extending a bridge to the next section using certain orientations of the portals, whether that be a blockage for a turret that, by the way, who also have a robotic personality and are almost just as creepy as GLaDOS herself. As we undergo what seems to be the second last test chamber, Wheatley bursts out, and we run. We escape in all an effort to shut down the continuous turret and neuron toxic gas so she can't use it against us. This is our first introduction to the unexpected outside environment to be part of the puzzle, and frankly, this is a great chase scene. Intense music, GLaDOS trying to get us back, traps and corners, all in a rushed feel of excitement and anxiety. With just in a nick of time, we escape into the elevator where Wheatley and us continue to shut down the turret line. Wheatley and GLaDOS create a great character difference, with Wheatley being stupid and obnoxious and GLaDOS being overbearing and sarcastic. Seeing Wheatley again makes me want more of this. We get into the turret line, seeing how it all works and observing malfunctional turrets being thrown away and functioning ones being continued and packed into boxes ready to be sold, or which that was their past purpose. They're now an army for which GLaDOS uses as testing equipment. We replace the functioning unit that the database uses as a replica with a malfunction one to trick the system into thinking the broken one is the production standard. Wheatley is a hacker and proceeds to show me his undeniably smart skills.
Right, I'm gonna have to hack the door so that we can get at it. Technical, you'll need to turn around while I do this.
Template. Response.
Done.
Here we lie, the entrance to GLaDOS's main control center. Her first and only attempt to get rid of us fails from our success to replacing the turrets previously. Gas tubes fall into place with Wheatley stumbling down the chute, causing us to pick him up and throwing him into the control chamber, which then states GLaDOS is in a corrupted state, and with our help of pressing a button, Wheatley and GLaDOS get pulled down into the ground, with Wheatley replacing GLaDOS. And when I did my first playthrough, I assumed that this was the end. It was about as long as the first game, so I assumed we'd get back up or die or something. But no, unfortunately, my worst nightmare came to life. My British robot, my friend, is no longer who I thought he was.
Oh, sorry, no, the lift. Yes, sorry, keep forgetting. This body's amazing, seriously. I can't get over how small you are, but I'm huge. Actually, why do we have to leave right now? Do you have any idea how good this feels? I did this. Tiny little Wheatley did this. You know what you are? Selfish. I've done nothing but sacrifice to get us here. And what have you sacrificed? Nothing. Zero. All you've done is boss me around. Well, now who's the boss? Who's the boss? It's me. Ah! See that? That is a potato battery.
I know you.
Sorry, what?
The engineers tried everything to make me behave, to slow me down. Once, they even attached an intelligence dampening sphere on me. It clung to my brain like a tumor, generating an endless stream of terrible ideas.
No, not listening, not listening.
It was your voice.
No, you're lying. I am not a moron!
Yes, you are. You're a moron they built to make me an idiot.
Well, how about now? Now who's a moron? Could a moron punch you into this pit? Ah! Could a moron do that? No.
Oh, hi. So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
So now, Wheatley betrayed us, and GLaDOS gets turned into a potato, who has little voltage to keep her online, and when she thinks too hard, she turns off because the low voltage isn't enough to keep her running. This is great story plot. Down, which seems to be the eternally long chute, we end up thousands of miles below Aperture Science, the foundations and first beginnings of Aperture in the 50s, which got shut down soon after the owner died. We are introduced to this owner, Cave Johnson, through clips of pre-recorded messages for test subjects undergoing what seem to be the first trials of testing and science.
You're helping us test the repulsion gel today. Just follow the blue line on the floor. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely.
So, Omni-Man, Tenzin, Kai, J.K. Simmons is the notoriously well-known voice actor of Cave Johnson, which is actually one of his biggest roles people know him by, and damn, it really shows. As we traverse the first beginnings of Aperture Science, the puzzles again continue growing. Makes sense, I guess, being a puzzle game. And we run into, for the first time, blue gel. This stuff is great fun to bounce on. Grow up. And furthermore, we mix it with other gels to create one smooth transition from one place to the next. No deadly lasers or turrets, just blue slime which apparently melts your skeleton from the inside out.
Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
This whole 50s abandoned vibe we get from this place is amazing, but it's also eerie. The huge open spaces for which we don't really get to see in the first half of the game, and definitely brings a new element of intrigue into the world. It's also kind of the first time you truly feel alone. No Wheatley, no GLaDOS, just you and a desperate man's pre-recorded voice trying to convince you that their tests are safe. There are quite a few obstacles to go by when we finally reach GLaDOS, who was taken at first by a crow. Obviously thought she was an egg. This once huge killing machine now is some harmless mindless robot potato, strangely enough a lot nicer to you. Whether this be a ploy in getting you to help her or not, we undeniably still need her to get out of here. She promises us to go free if we return her to her final form. So we stab the potato, with her being attached to the end of our portal gun. She then proceeds to freak out and lose voltage on us throughout the entire section of this part. Good in-game storytelling strategy to keep her from stop talking between test chambers. As we continue, we find orange gel, for which we mix the blue gel with to traverse across the map. Still can't get over how fun the puzzles actually are. This is where it gets a little interesting though. GLaDOS recognizes Cave Johnson's voice, and we soon realize GLaDOS was once Cave Johnson's assistant Carolyn. She was once human, and Cave Johnson's last wish was for her to be planted into a robot to take over his role. Since then, Carolyn, now GLaDOS, somehow went crazy and killed off every employee with her neurotoxins. Kinda creepy, I know. Yes, new gel, white stuff. Stop it. This allows us to paint walls with portal conductive materials to now find multiple ways to continue a puzzle. This is pretty cool, and definitely adds a bit more difficulty. We're almost back to the surface of where Wheatley is programmed to be so stupid he can't help but make every bad decision for the place as possible, causing the whole laboratory to fall and crumble if we don't do something about it fast. This is what I mean about huge open spaces and how atmospheric they feel. Although we're almost at the top, we need a plan, and GLaDOS seems to know what. Paradoxes of all things. Questions or statements that have no logical conclusion to them. This is how you rid AI. I need to further test this on dumbass Siri so she stops activating every time I say the word serious. So, off we go up, ready for a mission to take down this bastard.
For God's sake, your boxes with legs! It's literally your only purpose.
Oh my goodness!
Wheatley has gone mad. He's made these disgusting, freakish cubes that move by themselves. I hate the thought of these things. Every time I pick one up, I am greeted with just two horrific creatures in front of my face. We furthermore get down there to play along with his game to eventually get closer and closer so we can stop him in person. Now, because Wheatley has taken over, he now has an itch that he unnaturally can't control, and to scratch that itch, he has to see puzzles solved. GLaDOS had the same itch, but it never overbeared her. Her only intentions for testing was for the pure and only reason: science. GLaDOS attempts to use a paradox, but we further see fails. This is because he's so stupid that he doesn't know what a paradox even is. I also fall into this category. As we venture forth Wheatley's, or should I really say GLaDOS' spare testing chamber, we realize Wheatley is growing tired of puzzles, and that itch isn't scratching anymore, which is a bad thing, because he has a surprise for us, which involves death, so clearly he states.
You solved it, but I'm wondering if maybe there's a number of ways to solve them, and you're picking all the worst ways. No, that was the solution. What am I missing?
You two are gonna love this big surprise. In fact, you might say you're going to love it to death. You'll love it until it kills you, till you're dead. All right, I don't know whether you're picking up on what I'm saying there, but
Thanks, we get it.
Okay, I gotta pause for a sec though, because I just want to say how weird and off Portal feels towards the end, in a good and maybe a little bad way. I feel like the whole section of the first half was great, it was really grounded, but But honestly, I didn't feel threatened at all during the second half, and I never felt in danger. It felt fun and lighthearted, but I really lost the suspense and eeriness of it all. I suppose that's all got to do with Wheatley though. It doesn't ruin the gameplay, but I just really liked what the whole game started as. We are at the big surprise, kinda how GLaDOS had our adopted birthday party earlier.
This is the part where he kills us.
Hello! This is the part where I kill you.
Ultimately, we are stuffed until we see the white gel from earlier, which makes it possible for the surfaces to be portalized. With a narrow escape, we whip past the traps and get into another escape run, missing debris, using bombs to break things, all in an effort to witness one of the saddest deaths. I'm actually not gonna get out of here. No! Just kidding, those things are disgusting. GLaDOS and Shell agree that they are enemies with a common goal, and proceeds to insert GLaDOS into the control panel, with the plan of using corrupted cores, which are kinda similar to Wheatley in that they have a personality, but are well, corrupted. With a mixture of the 3 types of gel, we slide, we throw bombs, jump, and jump again, in finally attaching the last corrupted core in which the ending takes place.
Do it! I forbid you to press it!
Press it. Press the button.
Don't press that button!
Press it.
Don't press it! Come back!
Press the button.
R5! Movie trap the stalemate button! What? Are you still alive? You are joking! Yeah, well now we're all gonna pay the price, because we're all gonna bloody die! Space! Let go! We're in space! Let go! Let go! I'm still connected! I can pull myself in! I can still fix this!
I already fixed it, and you are not coming back.
Oh no! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me!
Oh, thank God, you're all right. You know, being Carolyn taught me a valuable lesson. I thought you were my greatest enemy, when all along you were my best friend. The surge of emotion that shot through me when I saved your life taught me an even more valuable lesson, where Carolyn lives in my brain.
Carolyn, deleted.
Goodbye, Carolyn. You know, deleting Carolyn just now taught me a valuable lesson. The best solution to a problem is usually the easiest one. And I'll be honest, killing you is hard. You know what my days used to be like? I just tested. Nobody murdered me, or put me in a potato, or fed me to birds. I had a pretty good life. And then you showed up. You dangerous, mute lunatic. So you know what? You win. Just go. It's been fun. Don't come back.
Well, that is Portal 2, peeps. One of the best, if not the greatest story puzzle game out there. And truly, to see what I mean, you have to play it yourself. You don't have to play through Portal 1 to understand Portal 2, but I highly recommend it either way. Now, in all seriousness, I have nothing against Valve for not making Portal 3. To be honest, I think Portal 2's ending is actually a really good place to end. See, we have a problem in this world where movie and game companies just recycle and reuse previous IPs, all in an effort to make them worse and drain us, the people's wallets. And my worst fear is for something like that to happen to Portal. I mean, just look at Halo, Star Wars, Fallout, Borderlands, and more. These once legendary universes turn into forgotten treasures. And that, my friends, is what I mean by Portal 2 is a forgotten treasure. Cheers for watching, peeps. Like and sub if you would like to see more. These types of videos take a while to edit, and I'd really like to see whether there is a community for content similar to this. Again, thanks for watching. Mr. Junkbox, signing out.
Remain calm, this is fine. Just ignore the warning sign. If you vanish, that's a really solid score.